Alrighty. Okay, so welcome back, everybody. So the last time we left off in BFEville, for the Saguaro County, we started developing some industrial districts. We had put in our direct route to the industrial district over here, and today I think what we're going to be doing is working on that as well. Is trying to develop up this area, get some more industry in. And as you can see down in the bottom right, our residential demand is pretty high. So what we're going to be working on is just going with the typical, we're going to be expanding the grid that we've got going. I'd like to move this industrial district more over, or this industrial district right here, more over into the this industrial district. And I'd like the southern portion of this to remain manufacturing and general purpose industry. And up here, we're going to specialize more into the forestry and stuff like that. So, okay. Alright, so how are we doing on education? It always ends up being my big thing I end up having a lot of oversight on. We're doing okay as far as availability and capacity, but connection-wise, we're not doing fantastic. We are making quite a bit of money, though, so I think one of the things that we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and plunk down another high school, especially as we try and build up this industrial area, and that's going to bring a lot more people into the city. I think we'll just go to here, and then I like to build high school campuses kind of thing. So we'll put in a basketball court because I'm basing this off of an American style city, and we will go ahead and add a tennis court as well. And then we will build this up with low density housing. Alright, and we're getting some more building level ups. The heck? Oh, that was just a weird render on those trucks. So I would really like to keep the dirt road that we have going for the forestry district. I'm not so much worried about that in the general purpose, and we will definitely go ahead and put up some industrial style roads, or even just the regular ones, just keep the noise down, even though the upkeep is a little bit more. But I do think that we're gonna stop developing low density as far as expanding out this way. We might put a little bit of a nicer, like, organic style thing going on through here. These dunes are really, I guess it's a mountain. I don't like how they end up looking. I might do a road up through there kind of thing just to fill in some stuff, but I don't like trying to develop on the side of the hills like that, especially as steep as it is. we're doing okay for water, but not for sewage treatment. So, and I know the eco ones are super expensive, but they do make handling pollution a lot better. What are we looking at upkeep? 480 a week versus 320. It's only 2,000, but it also gives, this gives 45 pollution, that gives 100 pollution. And like I said, we're going to start going and trying to develop this area as more of our industrial area so we can move that out of the way and definitely have more, save more trips, car trips into the actual downtown portion of the city. Because we really don't want, so actually let's go ahead and see how much it would be to like move this coal power plant. If we were to put this here. Yeah, and we could just do that every like couple of weeks in game. And we can start cutting down on pollution over here. Now this, unfortunately, I am going to have to go ahead and tell them to start emptying it, and that recycling center is going to take the brunt of it. So okay. Okay, sorry about that. Trying to mess with the mic quality a little bit. I know I'm coming through a little staticky. If I turn down the mic monitoring, that might work a little bit better. Unfortunately, the mic did not come in. The mic didn't come in at all for the better audio quality, so I apologize for that, but okay. We're gonna try a swap real quick. Okay, fingers crossed this fixed a little bit of the issue with the mic. But it doesn't sound like it did. Maybe a little better there. Okay. Might be a little bit better. Apparently it's the actual controller that is causing the mic issues, so I apologize for that, but it sounds like it fixed it. Yeah, I'm not actually sure how that lake's alive either. I think that there must be a water source in it, but we're we're going to definitely have to plug down another recycling center right here. And so I may actually turn this road, I'm actually thinking about it right now, instead of it being this local street, I may end up making this a boulevard, so that probably wasn't the best idea to go ahead and put that there. But we can put it off. And yeah, we're going to do the regular industrial roads on this back part. It's so weird. I got this controller, or that controller that was causing the issues, specifically because my other one had just broken and everything like that, and this one was actually slightly more expensive, and it still ended up being worse. I don't understand it at all, but it's whatever. Okay, so, like I said, I think we're going to move this. I know, super realistic right there, total immersion removal. But we can go ahead, try to do that, and let's try to move this one as well. We're going to put some walking paths in between them because I'd like the industrial district to stay pretty walkable. And we're going to put in a collector road, because I would like for this to be able to handle a little bit more traffic. And I think what we'll do is we'll actually turn this into a collector road, and then all the way up through here, and have this connect with the county highway thing that we've got going on up here. Just so they can get all the way back and use it pretty easily, but honestly, it doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal. We don't have a lot of traffic going, but so I will say that we should, for this city, for BFEville, let's keep it like right here, and we will build, I'm going to say, for our district for BFEville, let's say the highway ends up being our, so like right here. This is where we're going to build to for BFEville. We're going to get rid of that Crescent Heights thing. And then maybe on the other side of this, we can build another city. But for right now, this should be okay. Got to start coming up with some names for our new city and kind of start figuring, because it looks like, as far as what we're going to be basing our industries off of, we have a lot of forestry. We actually have a tiny bit of agriculture right here that's not in a lake, and there's some over here right in the next one, but there is some oil up there. There's a lot of oil through here. So we could buy this spot over here and have a pretty good oil industry. We could run the highway right up through here and have it connect to the county highway. No problem. And that would be, that kind of looks like, and there's some ore over in the distance over there. And on the other side of that mountain. So we can diversify some industries. But we really are trying to focus more on the functionality of the city over, say, the attractiveness. We are still going to try and make it an attractive city, but so that's not empty yet. And then let's go ahead and, wow, just spent that money for no reason. Okay, and then let's go up here, and we can put this in right. We'll go ahead. Boom, sewage treatment's good. I think we have all of our unique buildings out of this area now. And
Oh, I see why it did that. I remember why I had that as a thing right here. We wanted the specialized industries. But we're deleting that anyway, so I guess that really doesn't matter. So let's go ahead and dezone all of this. And we can start focusing on more of the unique industry stuff, the actual ploppable industry stuff. Are we getting water quality issues? What? What? That's weird. Okay, I'm not sure how we're getting water quality issues because it doesn't actually look like there's... Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to delete this. And then we are going to plop down some water towers. I'm really not sure why that... And hopefully that fixes the issue. Yeah, that was weird. I don't see any pollution on it. It must be extremely minuscule. Yeah, and these guys still have the water pollution issue. But there's definitely no pollution on these. And I have no other water towers. Oh, I do have a water tower. This is where it's coming from. I forgot about that one. Definitely got to fix that real quick. Okay, and then these guys are just having pollution issues in general, but that will clear up because we just dezoned all of this. So, let's go ahead. This is a unique industry building. That should connect, maybe. Probably not. There we go. Alright, so that pollution should start clearing up a little bit. And we can kill off these. And as the pollution clears up around this, I think we're going to do some low-density residential around here as well. Maybe not inside of the lake, but we could definitely do it, like, right here. Just to get some mixed-use kind of thing going. We can do some of that. And we're needing more industry, so let's add... We'll add some more tree plantations. And we're going to make this walkable. Because that's the thing with the Sims in City Skylines is when they actually populate, you won't get... So it's not like automatically every citizen in your city has a car all the time. What'll actually happen is it'll be like the game will go and as they decide, oh, this sim needs to populate or whatever, spawn in. It will then decide what destination that sim needs to go to, and based on the distance, wow, death wave. Based on the distance that sim needs to get to is when it will decide, is it going to spawn a car? Is it going to spawn a bike? What is it going to spawn? And we are clearing this area up, so I am going to put this in, because we're going to try and make this a little bit nicer of an area, now that we've cleared up a lot of the pollution. Or the pollution is clearing up, I should say. Okay, and then back in this area, we can do some A little bit of that, a little bit of that, and then this will help break up the grid a lot as well. Just changing up some features on the road. And I think we're going to redo this county highway, especially when we buy this next block, because I believe this is, if we go to areas, this one has oil, that one has oil, but we could buy this one next, build a city on this part with the county highway dividing it, and that shouldn't be a problem. So, I think we're going to go ahead and buy this just so we can... the oil industry, I know, super dirty, but it's going to be able to bring in a lot more income for the city. We can actually go ahead and delete this one. So what we can do is we can run the county highway off of here, hug this corner as close as we can, and we can put up the sound barrier ones right through here. Head it straight right here, and then disconnect, reconnect, and maybe build an exit right there so people can get on and off between the cities. The two little towns that we'll have going, because we've got almost 5,000 people in BFEville, and we'd like to build up this industry center, because we are needing more of it, but I'd also like them to be able to have another city going over here. So if we look at our info views, what are we looking at for natural resources right here? So this is the big pocket. So if we go here and we go ahead and decide this is going to be one oil area right here, and we're not going to make them super big. I don't remember if I have, no, because this is achievements enabled, so I don't have unlimited ore and oil, and I know it drains like ridiculously quickly without it, but I don't think we're going to tap into these just because the building space versus the concentration of oil, I'm going to be ripping them up within a couple of in-game weeks. So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead. We don't have these unlocked. When do we unlock the two-way with sound barriers? Oh, okay, we're about to unlock them, so it's not that big of a deal. They can deal with a little bit of noise pollution right now. And we will line this guy up about that far. That far should be good. Run him at a 90. Right there. And then we can run a freeform. We're going to hug this corner as close as we possibly can. Straight. Whoops. Got to do it with a... Got to start it with a regular road, and then we can go to a county highway road. So I did a bit of research. I don't want to say a little bit because I've watched several hours of other YouTubers and stuff as they are creating, like City Planner Plays is one, Yumble TV is another one that I'll watch, and they do a really good job of explaining the actual mechanics of city planning in the sense of like road hierarchy, things like that. And we're running a little low on power, so we're going to bump this up 25%. Just until we can afford a better power production method. But I'm trying really hard to adhere to that hierarchy that we've got going. So we have this collector road, this general collector road, and the only thing that will cross this collector road are local. It's the only intersections that you'll get off of it. Speaking of intersections, and we don't want, so like we don't want a highway to directly connect. And I know I'm ignoring that right here, but we will put in a collector road, have it downtown here, and then that will be our connection to the actual highway. Regional transport roads can connect to arterial roads or collector roads. In this case, because it's such little traffic, we have it connecting to a collector road. But the collector roads can only connect to arterials. Arterials can connect to regionals, and then local roads can connect to collectors and other local roads. And you don't want to connect to another road that's up or down on the or that's not directly next to that road on the hierarchy. So if we were to say, like, these are your local roads, these are your collector roads, these are your arterial roads, and these are regional transport roads. So a local road, as you can see, the only one that it can connect to is a collector road. The collector road is only touching the local or the arterial, so those are the only two it can touch. And then the regional transport roads only connect to arterial roads. So that's the only thing that they'll connect to. In this case, because we're focusing on more of a county mindset, I don't think that these 4-lane roads connecting is going to do that much. As far as, and it may change. I may eat my words and have to entirely redo the infrastructure of the city because I messed up and didn't adhere to road hierarchy. But we can do a pretty simple diamond interchange off of this and have this collector. So we will break this away. We can have this connect to our county road. And now we have a full connection all the way around. So this county road goes all the way around. And I think we're going to rename this county Route 1 or whatever. You know what? No, we're going to name it after my dogs. That's what we'll do. This is Spruce Drive. We are going to name this one. Let's go. We're going to start with my old man. We'll call it Waldo Highway. So yeah, we've got 3 dogs. We have Luna, Naomi, and Waldo is my old man. He's the old fart of the group. He's the grumpy. He actually is laying in the recliner right now with his tongue sticking out. Living his life, living his best life. So. Okay, and then we'll just do a really simple... we're going to have to do this with a single road. This. We're going to do it this as well, so that way... Yeah, there we go. And boom. And fingers crossed, it shouldn't have enough traffic here that this causes too many issues. Again, it should be a matter of, if we need to, we can change this type and maybe change it to like a trumpet interchange or something like that. Or a partial cloverleaf. I don't think we're going to get that much traffic, especially because most of it's going to be coming from the oil field over to here, onto the county highway, and then out. I don't think they're going to have a ton of... and yeah, we can leave that as a stoplight. We are not going to leave that one as a stoplight, though, and not leave that one as a stoplight. And so we can put in our other collector road. And this will be the main street through here, and we'll take it to here. This should be more than adequate for the main street for our next town. So yeah, our county road is Waldo Highway. We want to make sure definitely we have no stop signs on our on and off ramps, and we're good to go. We have a nice little diamond interchange, and as we build up our oil industry over here, it should mitigate traffic incidents as much as possible. And so we should be free to go ahead and build the rest of this up. And I'm debating whether I want this to be a four-way interchange. I don't think I want it to be a four-way interchange. Okay. So we're having some garbage issues. We know we were having some garbage issues because we can't get rid of that landfill yet. And once we can get rid of the landfill, we're going to put it over here in our little nasty pollution area. So we can go like this. And we can go ahead and start zoning other industry areas. Okay. Sorry about that. Even though I have my computer set on to not go to sleep, it does keep going to sleep and taking me out of the stream manager. So, all right. So we're gonna go, we're still needing some more industry, and I'd like to keep the industry as clean as possible. One of the cool things, if Paradox is ever gonna go and remake this game or whatever to, City Skylines, 2022 or whatever, I would really like to see more environmentally conscious industries, because that in reality, and I've said this, I've even titled some streams off of it, but I'm an agriculture major, so I understand more of the industry on the production side of things, but I am familiar with the products that come out of this. So like, as an example, plant-based plastics are becoming a lot bigger of a thing, and just because plastics are a petroleum-based product, they're lipid chains that go through a chemical reaction and cause them to turn into those hardened pieces of material that we use on a day-to-day basis. And one of the things in the agricultural industry that is gaining traction is, instead of just things like soybeans and canola and stuff that have historically been used for fuels, now those things are becoming potential manufacturing materials. Instead of it just being hemp cloth or whatever, now we're looking at things like hempcrete and hemp plastics and plant-based plastics and things like that. And it's an interesting time in the agricultural industry to see the changes that are taking place. And I would like to see that, and I'm sure there's a mod on the computer version that adds in more environmentally friendly industries. But even in places where it's like, historically we haven't been able to do much in the way of manufacturing industries for our county or our town or whatever like that, but they've been production industries for a long time, as far as like agricultural counties and things like that. It's giving them a lot more. So I know in my state, North Carolina, one of the things that they did was a hemp pilot project, and where the Department of Agriculture and the North Carolina Chamber of Commerce got together, and they were like, "Hey, we need some agricultural opportunities for these historically disadvantaged tobacco producing areas." And so what they did was, hey, hemp used to be grown here all the time before we made it illegal, and they were like, let's give it a shot again. And in this climate, hemp does really well. We are considered a subtropical on the far eastern part of the state, and the varieties of hemp that we have now, hemp does really, there's a reason it's called weed, and it's cannabis sativa family. There's a reason it's called a weed, is because it's easy to grow, it's hard to perfect, kind of thing. And so the climates around here do really well with maintaining a an area conducive for that plant. And so we've seen this massive boom of the economy in regards to hemp production, CBD oil, fiber production, seed production, consumables, things like that. The problem that they're actually having right now with hemp production is there's no specialized equipment for it. There's no, in this age of mechanization in agriculture, there's not a lot of specialized equipment for hemp production, especially where it's a multi-purpose plant. In a sense, kind of like canola, where canola, you can get the seeds, you can get the stems, you can use that, but it doesn't need to maintain its integrity for it to be useful. Hemp is not like that, where it needs to maintain its integrity of the plant for it to be able to be used for manufacturing purposes. So, like, if you wanted to use the stalks, you can't have it in these tiny little pieces to make cloth and use the fibers for that. You have to have it in intact, long strands of fiber. But at the same time, if you're wanting to harvest the seeds and harvest them both at the same time, you can't just reap the top of the seeds, because this is a plant that can get up to 8 feet tall in some places, and then still have something that's, collecting the stalks in a whole manner usable for other manufacturing purposes. And that's the issue that they're running into with the stagnation of, like, the whole cannabis family. Not necessarily, and I believe I'm actually calling that wrong. They're part of the same family, not the same species, but it's a cool time in agriculture, because we're seeing these places that are historically non-manufacturing and they're all production based. They don't do anything really value added with the production industries, and we're seeing these places turn into, we don't just have to rely on, production anymore. We can do manufacturing, and it's an interesting time. And I would really like to see that implemented in city building games and games like Farming Simulator and things like that, where the non-traditional agriculture and production routes are changing dramatically. So I think it would be a cool thing to really see implemented in the new. So if anybody from Paradox ever gets bored and ends up watching something like this, I'd really like to see that. Because, Joe Schmo on the internet streaming with 3 followers is gonna is gonna get his opinion taken into account. Oh, okay. Things are on fire. Well, that's not good. Can we... So in my monologue, we've actually gotten to the point where we can afford another landfill. I hate these things. In real life and in city skylines. Landfills are definitely one of those things that it's a cover it up, save it for a future generation thing, and we are rapidly finding out that is a horrible, horrible method for solving our waste problems. And we'll put a little bypass over here so people can get from one side of the city to the other without having to go on the road. I think that will work perfectly for them. Oh God. I don't think we have enough money, and I don't think we have it unlocked. We don't. And I think we only have one fire department. So I think we will put a little fire department up here so it can get to and fro, and maybe it still looks like we're pretty good on police. So, okay. I definitely think the other thing with traffic, it should definitely, with your emergency vehicles, that they get stuck behind other cars And in reality, they would just go around them if that were the case. Like they would just drive on the opposite side of the road, but the traffic manager does not do that. Oh, our waste? Yeah, absolutely. The on I believe it's even with the recycling. So Germany, there's the German public media, I can't remember what it's actually called, did a special, and in Germany, for those of you unfamiliar, they are required to separate their recyclables and break them down into like plastic, whatever. And they have in down in front of the buildings, they'll have these depositories for them. Well, even still, it's something like only 30% of the actual waste that goes into there is actually recyclable. And so it is so like that right there, that would not have actually happened in real life. You would not have just been able to delete, like empty out your landfill and delete it. A lot of the things that they will do and that they're kicking themselves in the butt for later is capping them, where they will take about 6 feet of clay soil and just dump it over the top of it, pack it down, and then plant grass and call it a day. What they're finding out is that essentially makes a giant ticking time bomb because things are still decomposing in there and it turns into a giant methane cap. In some counties, like there's a county in North Carolina called Jackson County, and they actually have something called a green energy park where they then took their old landfill, took pipes, they harvest that methane, and they actually use it to produce art, and they help local artists, glass blowers, smiths, metalworkers, things like that, can come in and rent the equipment and stuff, and they have these access to this methane gas where they can run their forges and everything like that. And it's a cool concept, and it's unfortunate that it ever got to that part, but we are definitely realizing, oh crap, landfills, covering up your garbage is not the way to go. And it's just it's a really unfortunate thing, but it needs to be a wake up call when the country that is one of the best has one of the best recycling programs on the planet goes, oh hey, by the way, only 30% of what we actually get is recyclable. So I mean, recycling centers are great, and I'm not downing, and I think that partial solutions are a fantastic alternative to doing absolutely nothing. I'd rather we recycle 30% of our waste than recycle none of it and just throw it into a landfill. But we're rapidly finding the scientific evidence that our prior consumption habits have caused a lot of issues and are continuing to cause a lot of issues, and it's really unfortunate. And I feel like my career field, the agriculture industry, gets a bad rap for its play in that, and I'm hoping to at least be a part of that, where we can change the outlook on it, at least where it's no longer causing as much harm. It's offsetting it at least. But back to the task at hand with the actual city skylines thing we've got going. So we've got our county road going in, and we are gonna continue our grid off, just to focus on density. I know our grid isn't the prettiest thing in the world, but it is neat. It is functional. It's highly functional. And we're not going to connect it to this road because we're going to minimize the connections on this part, so that way we can focus on traffic flow once we get, because I think we do have oil. Oil is 5,500. So we're almost to the oil portion of it, and I really don't want to start developing that town because they're going to have to drive all the way over here to get to anything, and we could totally do some like forestry stuff over here. But like 90% of the industrial jobs are on this side of town, So I think we're just going to focus on development of this area for right now. And then once we hit that 5,500 mark, we can kind of let this be. As soon as we get it to a sustainable level of, you know, traffic is we're not running into a lot of services issues. So I think, and especially right here, we're going to try and take advantage of this little bit of agricultural industry area that we have. So that way we can at least try to make the county as self-sufficient as possible, as far as we're not importing a ton of... So I think what we're going to actually do is we're going to make this our green district right here. We're going to leave a block gap here. So we're not going to do our typical grid part right here on this area. So we'll leave that block gap from the pollution spewing place like that. And then we can, let's do this and that. That'll break up our grid a little bit more. And we can start focusing on some agricultural. So let's go to our industry. We'll paint us a happy little farming industry. If you guys have never watched The Joy of Painting with Bob Ross, it is exceptionally peaceful. I don't do drugs, okay? But I can totally understand the people that will go and toke it up and watch Bob Ross. And I'm like, you know what? I get it, man. I actually followed along with one of his painting things. I had just taken up painting as a hobby. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to let Bob Ross take me through it. I'm just going to see if he can actually stand by his anyone can paint thing. And I jacked it up on the bottom part of it, but holy crap, man. The dude is, as popular as the TV show was, he knows what he's talking about. And it was an extremely, just chillaxed. I don't know. I love Bob Ross. I understand people's obsession with him. I really do. I understand the obsession. Bob Ross is the man. I mean, he would do the happy little cloud and everything like that. I had read the story. There was an article that was done on here's Bob, and Bob was a veteran, and he actually was when they interviewed him, he was like, yeah, I never wanted to yell at people ever again. And that was his thing. He was like, I don't want to yell at people, so I'm not gonna. And so he took his passion for painting and turned it into a really positive love yourself experience. Okay, so I think that gives us a nice breakup in that little bit. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to have this little district, our green district of BFEville. And we're going to have it focus. Our commercial is going to be totally focused on the green. I actually don't think we get green. Oh, no, we already have it. Okay. And do we get for our commercial? Yep. Okay, cool. So we can do this. All right, so we are going to take this. And this is still going to be part of BFE. But we're going to have it... This is going to be our green district for BFEville. Okay, so we are going to add that. And it doesn't reduce your income tax on this part. Not super worried about it. We're making like $5,000 a week off of this. And... Excuse me. Making about $5,000 a week off of it. and shouldn't be too much of an issue. So let's go ahead and set up our utilities. I apologize for the sniffing and stuff if you guys are getting that in the mic. It has been... We have a front coming through on this end, so it's pushing warm air, even though the other week it was every bit of... The high was about 40 degrees. So, what is that? 3, 4 Celsius? Probably not that cold. It's probably more like... No, that would be, yeah, like 3 or 4 Celsius, I think is what it would be. So that's what it was. And then it just switched to now it's 70 degrees outside, which I think is like... What is that, 20? 20 C? And so it's just... Every time I walk outside, the heat will kick on at night, and then my nose dries out. And then halfway, or all the way throughout the day, I'm sitting there, and especially with everything going on with the Rona, everybody looks at me like I'm about to kill them or something like that, and I legitimately, I'm just sniffing because my nose is dry. .2 C. See, I was close. I'm pretty sure there was a article where there was a marathon or something run in England, and they were complaining about the people passing out and stuff because they were like, it's historic highs, and it was like 20 C, which I totally get if you're not used to that heat. But it was the majority of America was looking at it like, what the crap are you talking about, when it was when they said it was 20, it was like 22 or 23 C or something like that. Okay, so back to my degree with this thing. What would be going on here would be something called integrated agriculture, or urban agriculture is another term for it, where you have micro pockets of agricultural production within city limits. And these are becoming incredibly popular in major metropolitan areas like Charlotte and New York City. Los Angeles, I know, has a growing urban agricultural market. And it wouldn't always look like this. A lot of the times they are doing something called vertical integration for their farming, where these guys, and I actually think I think it's in the entertainment slot in this. Yep, it is. Vertical farms. And so these things, obviously they don't always look futuristic like this. A lot of the times they're buying up old warehouses because they already have the massive floor space for them, but then they're using something called hydroponics, which is just a fancy way of saying that you're growing food without soil. You're still using some type of medium, whether that's coconut husks, peat moss, something like that. And then you are hydrating it with a nutrient-rich water solution. And all the plants get all of the stuff that they would naturally get in the soil, but you're using it without taking up a bunch of floor space. So like, if we were to say like one of these is 1/4 of an acre for an orchard, full disclosure, you can't really grow apples in a vertically integrated style like that. But they, instead of doing that, they have like I think tomatoes are a big one. Tomatoes are a really big one, where you can grow them without soil, and these tomatoes are they still taste like regular tomatoes. They're not like frankenfruit or whatever. They are legitimately just soilless grown tomatoes. And instead of growing 1/4 acre of tomatoes, you can grow them in, say, like, you know, an eighth of an acre, which is half of that space, and you're still getting the same quality of fruit. And that's becoming a really big thing in urban areas. I know I remember reading a story about a a microgreens in Alaska, and they had bought an old warehouse, and they were growing microgreens in the middle of Alaska in the middle of winter because of the urban farming that they were doing. And I believe it was either in Anchorage or Juneau. But it's interesting to see the different things people are doing with agriculture as it becomes more and more technologically advanced. To the point now where they're developing robots that can actually distinguish the ripeness of fruits to be able to know when to pick them, which is that's a pretty cool feat. It will be interesting to see how and I don't like the term unskilled labor, but the manual labor positions of agriculture are going to change over the next couple of years and the next couple of decades as different levels of technology start to interrupt traditional mindsets with labor in regards to agriculture. I think it'll be cool. It will definitely be, and that's one of the things like everybody talks about, like, oh no, robots are stealing our jobs kind of thing. At the same time, we also don't have to be worried about being crushed by rocks because we're hand quarrying material anymore. So, there's a trade-off, and it's one of those things where you have to respecialize. So we're going to have this little agricultural area, and we'll do a 4x here. And I think we're going to go ahead and connect it to our roundabout right here. Hey, okay, now we can start building our oil industry. I would like to get our green district built up, though. And we're going to rename Brook Park to... What do we want to name Brook Park? Let's name you... I guess we'll just name it BFE Green District. We're going to do this. I'm going to... call it Green Zone. BFE Green Zone. What's going to be hilarious is I'm going to finish up with this stream, and then I'm going to get the microphone that I specifically bought and ordered to get here before this stream happens. And the audio qualities are just, we're going to laugh about it, and everybody's going to have a good time. I think because this is going to be our green district, we're going to do brick paths. Whoops. I know they're a lot more expensive, but I think it'll just look really cool in between our orchards and stuff. Like it's a really planned out area. So alrighty. Are we just running out of power, or is it things are not hooked up? Nope, we're just running out of power. Oh, okay, oil power plant. I think we're going to go ahead and plunk this down over here. I know we're trying to do some greenness, but we'll plunk the oil power plant down because that should produce a substantial amount more power, as well as we can start developing this this area over here Okay, so let's look at where our actual... This is the deepest part of it. So I think if we focus on like a one-way loop around here, we could probably really mitigate traffic on that part. Yeah, that's what I think we're going to do. I think we're just going to do a one-way loop. Kind of like this. We're not going to worry about symmetry on this part. We're just going to worry about trying to get as much of the area, our oil area, touching that. And we're going to go for probably about a 2 or 3 block buffer between our residential area and our industrial area here. So if we go 1, 2, and then we'll have it here. I guess it would technically be a 3 block, but we will put a 2 by go slightly wider than 1 by to get the max density. And a 2. And we're going to try and actually eliminate a lot of the crossings because we are going to have a lot of traffic going on through here. So if we actually delete this, go another 2, and go here, I think that would do a lot better. That. If we do like this, we'll go 2. What we'll do, we'll have bridge crossing right there. So that way we can still have a really good connectivity going on throughout the town. And then we go 2. We do it again. That way everybody's not... We only have, instead of, you know, what we would have 4 crossings now, we only have 2 crossings. And people still have the connectivity to go see their neighbors or whatever, or if there's commercial, because it is going to be a mixed use, we can do that no problem. So let's build our grid out a little more. Okay, so let's go ahead and we will run our utilities. Right there. Okay. And make sure our industry area is, yeah, we're gonna bring that in a little bit and just do probably that wide around the whole thing. Should be okay. And we will try to have like the petroleum pyrolysis and everything within this area. So that way we don't have to worry about pollution really leaching out, and we can really contain it. So if we do, we can do another, let's do, we can do a full density road right here. I totally did not square that up. I'm going to turn around and BFEville's going to be on fire. Okay, no, we're not on fire. All right. We could definitely develop that green zone a little bit more. But right now, I want to focus on getting the oil industry set up and running. Because we're going to have it right here. And let's go ahead and we'll plunk you down and plunk you down. And we will go... for the time being, this will work fine. Try to stay out of building zones as much as I can. And run some water up. Now that is going to be the annoying bit of constantly having to make sure that these things have power, but at the same time, I don't have unlimited oil and can't just bridge all of them together. So. Let's go ahead and fill. We'll do that, and we'll put in a couple of... We'll put in one there, we'll put in one there, and we'll put in some commercial stuff right there. I think I'm going to avoid putting houses there just until I get the sound buffer kind of thing. And let's go work on our green district a bit. I know I'm not going to expand this way really at all. Let's go ahead and put in a park though. Put in a big old park right here. I know that those people just built, but they'll be okay. A little bit of eminent domain. Or they're just going to build right next to them. And I think these guys probably need a school. And because it's our green district, we're going to change it up, and we will put in a community school right there. And we can do a... I don't have enough money for a high school, but we do kind of need a clinic over here. Or do they have... they're still kind of covered. The efficiency's not great. So let's do it. We'll do it right here. We'll have a little clinic right there. That way they have a little bit better efficiency of... Are we running out of water? Nope, we just don't have water on this road. Fill out this one. Okay, I think we can go ahead and we can start... Actually, I want to see where this truck goes. Is he going to cross? He looks like he's going to cross. I forgot to upgrade these. I'm like, why is he in the left lane and turning? Whoops. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, much better. Make sure there are no lights, no stop signs. Okay. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and we're going to try and start building. And I'm debating, just because like I feel guilty about the pollution and I know it's a video game and they're just pixels and everything like that. But let's plunk down some residential over here. I'm not gonna zone it as the super green stuff. We'll do that. We will do this. And fingers crossed, this oil industry can go ahead and it will pay for public transport for our citizens. We might be able to actually run like maybe a tram line from like this collector road, and we might upgrade and make, sorry, go, yeah. Maybe do this, make this a collector road through here and up this way. And we could have like a little tram system run the whole way, and that way everybody has a lot better time getting to and from work. How do we not have power? What are you talking about? You don't have power. Boom, you got power. You don't have water though, so let's go. Okay. We're going to go ahead and plunk down that. And let's plunk down one there. Do we have power? We do have power going between them. All right. Don't got to worry about that. A little bit of non-affiliate diet soda in the morning. So I think we are going to do a fill right here. Right here. We can do some mixed use right through here. Because I believe the low density with the what do you call it? The agriculture, the farmers market and stuff specialization. I don't think they produce as much noise. Yeah, and they don't. They barely are producing any noise. You got a little bit right here because it's kind of popular. You got a lot of noise going on over here, but there's barely any. Most of it actually looks like it's coming from the road. It doesn't even look like it's coming from the low density commercial districts. So I think we're also going to go ahead and build up, what do we need to get Cypress Estate to the next level? We need a lot more workers. No, we've got the workers. Oh, okay, so it's about to level up, and then we can get our medium-sized fields. All right, so we get the farm workers barracks, bakery, cattle shed, flour mill. Oh, we don't get the medium ones this one. Do we not? No, we don't. So let's just... I think I'm going to keep them all lined up as well, instead of trying to do that. Because this is a micro district, we're just going to try and keep it. They're all going to be vegetarians right through here. They're just going to worry about plant production. We're not going to do a ton. We might do like one animal. They just produce so much noise pollution. It's very difficult to. So what we will do, we will turn you to a greenhouse. We can keep you wheat. Put you some potatoes. Corn. I just made both of these corn, didn't I? No. Alright, cotton, fine. Corn, wheat, another greenhouse, and corn. Okay. What we will do, just because there's so little noise produced by these, we can do this. That's totally within a walking distance for all of them. And we can go ahead and plunk down some more commercial stuff right here. We have the thing for industrial waste filtering yet? Oh, I am going to encourage biking. Yeah, we do. How much is it? Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, we'll do that. And it's going to lower our stuff, but it's going to drastically reduce the pollution that we're producing in our manufacturing district. That park we were making, as small as that is, it's already a level 3. I think probably it's going to be like, oh, you need more entertainment, because I think our... Yeah, we just need a little bit more on the entertainment level. Let's see what we can do. Okay, let's plunk down a gazebo. Maybe another gazebo here. And we don't have the other stuff. So let's try maybe a heart cafe. Those do pretty well. Boom. We get the climbing frame. I don't know if anybody else did, but when I was a kid, I was always afraid, like those little, the dome climbing frames on the playgrounds. I was always afraid I was going to fall, and like my ankle and my knee were going to get caught between one. I was just going to snap my leg. It was an illogical fear of mine. I have no idea why. That and the spider ones, I always used to think I was going to end up getting hung up on, like the ones that were made out of the ropes. Like, I was going to get like, in that Tarzan movie where the Clayton guy falls out of the branches and then the vines end up unaliving him. I definitely think public transport's an issue right now. I think we have a very walkable city, but we don't have the necessary, like... Yeah, we need a little bit more. I want to get this to a level 5 park. I think we can add in another gazebo. We'll add in another gazebo. Maybe a gazebo here. There are 2. You're going to get a lot of light right there, because that apparently is how it works. But, are we there yet? How much more? We need a tiny bit more. Can we plunk down another restroom? Put in a restroom in there. That should get us to level 5. That should definitely get us to level 5. Oh my god! It is 1. How much do the gazebos give for entertainment? They're 60. Goodbye. Gazebos everywhere. You want to host an event? We got you. Okay, that should definitely go to... That's... Oh. There's a 1 there. There's a 1. I swear I know how to read. Yeah, we'll get rid of some of those. Put in another, because like I said, you want to host an event, we've got you all day long. I feel like we went down. How did we go down in entertainment? What's something with a higher entertainment value? That gives 70. That gives 150. Can we squeeze in? Yeah, let's squeeze in another one here. I just want to get it to a 5-star. I don't care if we put in any of the other stuff. Boom. All right, we got the trampoline park. Should be able to squeeze that. Yeah, right there. Bring your kiddos. Have a good time. Stop at the cafe. All right, got a 5-star park. So I think we're pretty set up. Let's look at our entertainment stuff just to for attraction. Well, I'm pretty happy. Okay. How much is it for a tram network? Because I want to avoid buses just because buses are going to be... You need a lot of them to do anything because they hold so little people. So I'm thinking maybe we can do a tram right off of this, and we'll turn this into a tram piece. Let's upgrade. I'm on trolley bus. I don't want trolley buses. I want trams. Boom. Tram. That looks horrendously, douche. And we will just upgrade this collector road. Plus it gets... Ah, dang it. There needs to be an undo button. And we will upgrade this to... That's just tracks. We want this. So we can drop people off at their workplaces. Oh, we gonna run out of monies. Okay, so we can do that. I actually don't think having these able to cross here would be a bad idea. Just a turnaround spot. Not necessarily any stops right there, but... And then let's run this all the way. That. Alrighty. And we can stop that there. Run our guy over to the green district. Okay, I think we can come up with 1 or 2 lines off of this one. So if we plunk down a stop at the commercial, and we'll plunk down a stop right here. And this one will mainly be about taking people from the green district over to this kind of commercial district kind of thing. And then we will have it go all the way back. And then from this, I think from this main street, what we'll do, so we'll go here. Oh, that would have helped if I would have actually upgraded this properly. Didn't mean to make a... Create a new line. Stop there. Main Street stop. Main Street stop. And for the time being, we can just have it do that, and we're good. Can we not? Oh, that would be because I didn't complete the line. That would probably help. Alrighty. Let's try that one more time. We can put a stop in there just preemptively, put a stop in there preemptively, and put a stop in there preemptively. And then we will go and complete that line. Okay, now people should be able to get to the oil, no problem, as well as getting to and from the green district. Alrighty. So we're making money. We've got our oil district going in. We don't have enough. I don't even think we unlock a train line. Yeah, we don't until 11,000 people. And I would really like to take that train line, run it right next to this county rail, or this county road, and have a cargo line here. I'd like a plane line, or a commuter line from here, and run it all the way over to the industrial district over here. And we could have some form, honestly, it would probably go into the green district right here, and they could just walk over to the metro station and take it the rest of the way, or to the trolley station. Just so we're not having a bunch of overlap with our... Ooh, we are a little bit recreation starved over here. So let's add in... We'll add in you. And a dog park there. Everybody loves dog parks. Can take one there. We'll get some more stuff going. Probably need some type of park here. In case anybody's wondering, yes, dog parks are one of my favorite things to plunk down. Because they're small, but they give you quite a bit of recreation for your citizens, for your Sims. And so these guys will start leveling up, and these guys probably need to go ahead and get a school as well. So let's plunk down an elementary school, and I don't have enough money for a high school. Otherwise, I would plunk that down as well. But that's going to cause some leveling up, just rapid leveling up everywhere right there. And we can go ahead and start prepping for expansion here. Did we zone this one? No, so we're going to zone... Hey, we get the milking parlor and all of that. Okay, so just for right now, we're going to zone like this. Need to... Some of that. And we apparently got disconnected. I thought that, oh, hey, 8,000. I accidentally clicked away from that. Didn't mean to. Meant to see what we unlocked. Okay. And we can disconnect all the way to here. And let's go ahead. Doop, 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 doop. Put a little corner store right here, and we will put a little corner store right here. Not the high density. Oh, so that's what we unlocked. We unlocked a lot of high density. I don't think I want to start doing a high density area yet. We might do some high density in the green zone and focus on banning high rises. Just so we keep it kind of low, but at the same time, I'm kind of digging the low density kind of thing we've got going. And maybe on our next expansion, we could do a metro area. The actual, like, metropolitan section of our city. We'll do that. And I would prefer to have these guys a little bit away from the highway. And we can go ahead and plunk down. You want to do like one of these? I know it's a lot more, but the entertainment. Wow, Bouncy Castle gives only 25 less than the Botanical Garden. Yeah, we're gonna... The freaking merry-go-round. What the heck? I never noticed that before. Yeah, we're gonna put in a carousel. Like, right here. That gives 150. And then we'll do a bouncy castle as well. And we're gonna put in another elementary school. We're gonna do one of the community ones. We're gonna put it right there. So that way they can just walk down there. And how are we looking on high schools? We don't have a single high school over here, so let's maybe... Let's do a high school facing the road over here, and this should service this entire area pretty well. And we'll make another little campus with. I don't think our basketball court will fit if we do that. It won't. So we'll do our basketball court, and that'll be that. We'll put in a little guy right there. And maybe we could do... Wow, that's a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. So this long stretch right here, where it's out in front of the highway, I think we're just going to do some decoration as far as trees go. And it looks like palms are kind of our go-to. So we're going to throw down some palms right here. Just going to make sure this area gets... Throw in some little bushes. I say little, that one is probably every bit of like 8 feet tall. Okay. $5,000 a week, not bad. So let's go ahead. So I'd prefer not to tear down. I'd like to minimize imminent domain as much as possible. And again, I know they're pixels and there's like no repercussions to it, but still. In the reality of trying to keep with some level of realism. I think we need death care over here too. I don't think we have any death care. And let's do another cross right here. So that way people don't have to And it looks like we do have some people walking from BFEville up to... We haven't named this place. What? Middle Heights is what it's called currently. I don't like that name. What are we going to call it? What are we going to call it? What are we going to call it? I think I'm going to change the name of BFEville too. I just kind of wanted that as a placeholder. I'm thinking... Because we've got Saguaro County, so let's keep with, like, the desert theme, maybe? It's a desert. I know there's a... I guess it's more of a grassland, but... Kudu Valley. Kudus are a type of... I believe they're an antelope. In Africa. And they have these really cool spiral horns. So we're going to call it Kudu Valley. Let's put another... Do we have the eco treatment? We do. They just cost so freaking much for upkeep, and I think we're just gonna... Yeah, we're just gonna do this. As we unlock more of the actual eco stuff and we begin... we get the actual opportunity to properly... So I think we can go ahead and do this. And I think we are back on, and I know that's going to give them some noise pollution, but they'll get over it. This should cover our water needs, at least for the time being. Okay. So let's keep building up. We definitely want to stick with a little bit of the mix use here. Just because if they can, if your Sims cannot walk, or if your Sims can walk, they're going to walk. If we can minimize our traffic issue as much as we possibly can, as far as like car trips generated, which, like, speaking of car trips, how many? This has saved 25% of all of our car trips, and this has saved 28% of all of the car trips. And I actually forgot to implement this policy. Free public transport. That was a weird... Oh, it was the cops' sirens coming. Okay, so we're going to do free public transport because that's going to massively boost the amount of people that are attempting to use public transport, which we may have to upgrade our lines and stuff. But as you can see, it barely messed with our cash flow. We are actually making more money still. Just for the fact that people are going to want to move in so much more now because it's like, hey, I really don't have to own a car here. And I know this is a main connection to our arterial or our collector road, but I feel like traffic is minimal enough here just because they immediately go to the highway right there. And the same thing with here. It's just we're not producing enough traffic, and I actually think there's a light here. Nope, it's right here. That's what it is. We're not producing enough traffic to cause the trips to outweigh the connections, which is part of the reason I like the really low density kind of areas. But we have kind of a little bit of some urban sprawl happening. It's not super bad. We're maintaining our districts. It's not nasty kind of thing. I actually lived in I worked in a small city, and it was actually listed at one point for the worst urban sprawl as far as like comparative to the size of the city versus like the population of the city. One of the worst urban sprawls in all of America. And it was bad. You would have like, and whoever was in charge of zoning in city planning was just not doing a good job. It was really bad for, you would have essentially like manufacturing areas right next to residential areas, and it, it wasn't a pretty city to go through. I'll just say that. It was not pretty in the slightest. Okay, we can get rid of this because they're all connected up. Oh, man. Did back in the gym today, and I took about a week off for a little bit, and I'm definitely feeling it. I am feeling it now, Mr. Krabs. So we can definitely... Oop. I think to break up a little bit of our grid... Oh, hey, we hit the 100K. Dun dun dun. I don't have... I'm streaming directly from the Xbox today. I have no overlays or no control over the actual thing. I don't have a widget installed either for the thing. I'm still trying to learn Twitch. But we hit our 100K mark on, which for having a population of only 9,000 is not bad, I don't think. I think we're spending wisely. And I think our oil industry is doing what we need it to do. I really do. I don't feel it's... Did we unlock geothermal power production? We did. Consistent 80 kilowatts. Or 80 megawatts, I believe. 80 megawatts. And we are in the desert. Solar updraft at 240 megawatts. I don't think this would be a bad place to put it in the oil district, just because... I apologize for the barking. That would probably be the mic getting here that I had ordered. But we can do a solar updraft, and that's going to give us a consistent 240, because we're in the freaking desert. So, yes, it's going to take us down probably about, 2,000, whatever. But we're producing so much more. One, we can go in here to electricity and drop this down to 100%. So we're not spending a copious amount more than we need. And then, and then we can go and probably delete a couple of our coal plants. Because we're still producing way more than we could ever. And we can get rid of these. So yeah, still making 7,000 even with the solar updraft. And we honestly, what is our actual power needs? 360. That solar updraft can produce up to 240. Currently, what are we producing? It says 240 megawatts. I don't think it's connected because I got rid of... Did I? No, we're connected. Oh, I'm reading it backwards. Okay. Reading it backwards. So we should be able to totally just get rid of... We can get rid of the oil. And we're producing 240. We're good to go. So that should drastically cut our spending. Which will... Angry Doge, yes. She's a rescue, so she gets pretty rambunctious. And skittish. I want to get her one of those bright vests that say, like, don't touch me. But sometimes I feel like people take that as an invitation to touch the dog. I don't know why. Okay, let's put in some more. need to add our brick walkways here as well. We'll do some of these. See, and as small as this is, we're still getting a three-star, which I don't think is bad considering that it's extremely tiny. And we've got those nice little brick walkways. It's a super walkable industrial area. It's quiet, but our citizens still have jobs. So if we try one of these, down, down, and plunk one down. Connect up to here. And finally do our walks. And we're obviously going to not just constantly have potatoes everywhere, but I think we'll just try to do some commercial right here. Just some small pieces. And then we should be able to do a road. Do it like that, and we're gonna have to redo our walkways. I'm really liking how the green district is turning out. It's very nice. Very nice. Plunk in some more commercial. I think we will do some residential right there. And then, like I said, I kind of want to keep it off of this portion right here, just so we can really let the trucks and stuff focus on using that. And we've just about recovered from that solar updraft power plant. And honestly, I guarantee you this oil industry really isn't bringing in that much. Yeah, it's only got a 304. I think our forestry is honestly might be our agriculture. That's only 112. Wow, okay, so our income tax is really just the main thing. So if we go to our economy and our income and expenses, yeah, our industry, just the regular Joe Schmo industry, is bringing in 957. So how do we level these guys up? I believe they actually need to be covered by more services. Okay, so how do they look for police coverage? Not a lot. So if we maybe do an industrial police, maybe an industrial fire, and I believe they are already covered by the, yeah, I just hear all kinds of leveling up. Yep, there we go. We should, in theory, drastically increase our income tax like that. And let's plunk down a plaza. That might increase some. We can plunk down a plaza maybe, and then try to fill it in with some offices. I could fill out the space a little bit better. Boom. Okay, how are we... That's not the one I wanted to go to. Actually, yeah, it was. Average on our residential. Most of them are level 4. Okay, so we're still doing pretty well. We have 0 high density, which is okay. I think we're actually going to focus less on Kudu Valley and maybe start planning out our metropolitan area. If we go to our areas, we could diversify and go with some ore. There's a little bit of an oasis kind of thing going down here. It may be kind of cool to have a metropolitan area surrounding that. Though it looks like it's kind of outside of the map because I can't check any of it. So, if we really just focus, we could do this as our main metropolitan here and here. We've already got a highway connection going there. We're not so much worried. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. And so we can flip it on the other side as well, and we get both of those little oases, whatever. What's our next milestone? 11,000? Yep, 11,000, and do we get another? We don't, nope, it'll be 18,000 that we get to do that other one. So we could probably do a small suburb here. And maybe do just some small planning starting out. So the little hilly, but I'm really focusing on building in that flat area. So maybe we'll consider both of these part of it. So let's maybe build a trumpet interchange for this. So this is going to be fun. All right, so let's go with our arterial. Go out one. And we can go, oh, I did the wrong thing, didn't. So if it's going to be 2, so lane math, it should be a 3. Delete all of this. So this should be a 2. If it's a 2-way, so we should go here. Trying to remember how to do trumpet interchanges. Okay, got that. So I think, and we will do we'll delete this so we can do our build up for our and smooth that out. Boom. All right. There we go. Nice highway overpass. All right, so trumpet interchange, which I just wanted to make sure that that was going to do that. So we should take this, and we're actually going to pause. And let's go here. One there. And one there. And then directly on the opposite side of each one of these, should be able to take a freeform. We can delete this portion, just like that. Don't like that. We do that. Might just have to accept it. And then upgrade these to singles. All right. All right. Try to make it as aesthetic as I possibly can. I am doing trumpet interchanges wrong. I'm about to make a clover leap. This is literally here, 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 here. And then we upgrade it to exit ramps. Alrighty. And we can do a small, that will be our place marker for the meantime until we really, really build it up. But for right now, that will have to do. I think we're going to call it on that one, but I would like to try out this raid thing. And we'll raid another channel, see what happens. See who's streaming Another City Skylines. That's in German. Do 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 do. You know what? We're gonna do a CK2 or a CK3 guy. I've seen this guy a couple of times. Boom.
My son